Have you ever promised yourself that today would be different? You wake up motivated, make a plan, prepare your workspace, and tell yourself that this time you'll finally get everything done. But then something strange happens. You check your phone for just a minute. One video becomes 5. One notification turns into 20. Suddenly, an entire hour has disappeared. The work you promised yourself remains untouched. And instead of feeling relaxed, you feel guilty. Sound familiar? Most people believe procrastination is simply laziness. They think that people who delay work lack discipline or motivation. But modern psychology tells a completely different story. Procrastination is not about being lazy. It is about how your brain is wired to protect you from discomfort. Every important task carries a certain emotional weight. It may create fear of failure, fear of making mistakes, or even fear of success. Your brain notices these uncomfortable emotions before you even realize they exist. To protect you from stress, it quietly pushes you toward activities that provide immediate pleasure. Social media, games, YouTube, chatting with friends, or even cleaning your room suddenly feel much more attractive than doing the actual work. This isn't an accident. It's an ancient survival mechanism. Thousands of years ago, our brains evolved to seek immediate rewards because they increased our chances of survival. Today, that same system is constantly activated by smartphones, endless notifications, and digital entertainment. The result is a battle inside your mind. One part of your brain wants long-term success. Another part wants immediate comfort. Every day, these two systems compete for control over your decisions. The most surprising part is that procrastination doesn't reduce stress. It actually increases it. Every minute you delay a task, your anxiety grows stronger. You begin blaming yourself, questioning your abilities, and losing confidence. Over time, this cycle becomes a habit that feels impossible to break. But here's the good news. Scientists have discovered exactly why this happens, and more importantly, they found methods that can rewire your brain to beat procrastination permanently. What if I told you that every time you procrastinate, a tiny chemical inside your brain is influencing your decision? That chemical is called dopamine. Most people think dopamine is simply the pleasure chemical, but that's only part of the story. In reality, dopamine is the brain's motivation and reward messenger. It constantly encourages you to chase whatever promises the quickest reward. Imagine you're about to start writing a report, studying for an exam, or working on a difficult project. These tasks offer rewards, but those rewards are far away. Your brain knows success will come only after hours or even days of effort. Now compare that with your smartphone. One tap gives you a funny video. Another tap brings a new message. Another swipe reveals something exciting. Every small surprise creates a tiny burst of dopamine, making your brain believe it's receiving something valuable. Your brain doesn't naturally choose what is most important. It chooses what feels most rewarding right now. Scientists have found that two major systems compete for control of your behavior. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for planning, discipline, logical thinking, and long-term goals. It tells you to finish your work first. But another system, the limbic system, focuses on emotions, comfort, and immediate gratification. It whispers, just watch one more video, ... You can work later. The problem is that the limbic system reacts much faster than the logical brain. Before your prefrontal cortex even has time to make a smart decision, your emotional brain has already reached for your phone. This is why procrastination often feels automatic. You don't consciously decide to waste time. Your brain simply follows the path of least resistance. The modern world makes this even worse. Social media platforms, games, and entertainment apps are carefully designed to capture your attention. Endless scrolling, unpredictable rewards, and constant notifications keep your dopamine system active for hours. Over time, your brain starts expecting instant rewards all the time. As a result, slow and meaningful activities, reading, learning, exercising, or building a business begin to feel boring, even though they are the activities that create real success. The good news is that your brain is not fixed. Thanks to neuroplasticity, your neural pathways can change. Every time you choose focused work instead of instant distraction, you strengthen the circuits responsible for self-control. The more often you make that choice, the easier it becomes. What feels difficult today can eventually become automatic. Imagine waking up every morning with a list of dreams, but going to bed every night knowing that none of them moved forward. At first, procrastination feels harmless. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. It sounds like a small decision, but tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Before you realize it, years have passed and the opportunities you once had are gone. The greatest danger of procrastination isn't the time you lose. It's the person you never become. Psychologists explain that every unfinished task creates what is known as an open mental loop. Your brain keeps reminding you that something important is incomplete. Even when you're relaxing, watching TV, or spending time with friends, a part of your mind is still carrying that unfinished responsibility. This creates a constant background stress that slowly drains your mental energy. The more tasks you postpone, the heavier this invisible weight becomes. Eventually, procrastination begins affecting areas of your life you never expected. Your confidence starts to fade because every broken promise to yourself sends the same message. Maybe I'm not disciplined enough. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'll never change. These thoughts slowly become beliefs, and beliefs shape your identity. That's why procrastination isn't just a productivity problem, it's a psychological trap. Research also shows that chronic procrastination is linked to higher levels of stress, anxiety, poor sleep, and lower life satisfaction. As deadlines get closer, panic replaces motivation. Instead of doing your best work, you're simply trying to finish before time runs out. Ironically, the very habit you use to escape stress becomes the biggest source of stress in your life. Think about successful athletes, entrepreneurs, scientists, and artists. They don't always feel motivated. They also experience fear, doubt, and discomfort. The difference is that they have trained themselves to act despite those emotions. They understand a powerful truth. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Waiting until you feel ready is one of the biggest myths about success. Motivation often appears after you begin, not before. Every small action you take sends a signal to your brain. I am someone who finishes what I start. Over time, these small actions build confidence, discipline, and a completely new identity. So ask yourself one question. If you continue procrastinating for the next 5 years, where will your life be? Now imagine making one small decision today that changes everything. In the final scene, you'll learn powerful, science-backed techniques that can help you break the procrastination cycle and take back control of your mind starting today. Now comes the most important question. If procrastination is created by the brain, can the brain be trained to stop it? The answer is yes. Thanks to neuroscience, we now know that the brain changes through repetition. Every action you repeat strengthens certain neural pathways. This ability is called neuroplasticity, and it means your habits are not permanent, they can be rewritten. The first technique is called the 5-minute rule. Instead of telling yourself you'll finish an entire project, promise yourself you'll work on it for just 5 minutes. That's it. Why does this work? Because your brain is afraid of starting, not of working. Once you've begun, your resistance naturally decreases. In many cases, those 5 minutes turn into 30, and 30 turns into an hour. The second strategy is the famous Pomodoro Technique. Work with complete focus for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. After 4 sessions, take a longer break. This method keeps your brain fresh while preventing mental exhaustion. More importantly, it transforms a huge task into manageable pieces, making it feel far less intimidating. The third strategy is habit stacking. Attach a new habit to something you already do every day. For example, after I make my morning coffee, I will study for 10 minutes. Or, after dinner, I will spend 15 minutes working on my biggest goal. Your existing routine becomes a trigger for your new habit. Next, eliminate unnecessary distractions. Turn off notifications. Keep your phone in another room. Close tabs you don't need. Remember, discipline isn't about having unlimited willpower. It's about creating an environment where good decisions become easier than bad ones. Finally, stop chasing perfection. Perfectionism is one of procrastination's closest friends. Many people delay starting because they want everything to be perfect. But perfection is an illusion. Progress is real. A completed imperfect project is infinitely more valuable than a perfect idea that never leaves your mind. Every successful person you admire once started as a beginner. They weren't fearless. They simply refused to let fear make their decisions. So remember this. Your future is not decided by your intelligence. It's not decided by your talent. It's decided by the small actions you repeat every single day. The moment you stop waiting for motivation and start taking action, your brain begins changing. And that one decision, could completely transform the rest of your life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating psychology insights. Because the better you understand your mind, the more control you'll have over your life. Every great transformation begins with a single decision. Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not when you finally feel motivated. It begins today. The truth is, your future self is being created by the choices you make right now. Every minute you spend taking action strengthens the identity of someone who follows through. Every minute you spend avoiding your goals strengthens the habit of procrastination. Your brain is always learning. The question is, what are you teaching it? Think about the people you admire the most. Successful entrepreneurs, athletes, scientists, artists, and leaders all have something in common. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait until fear disappears. They act even when they feel uncertain. That's because they understand one powerful principle. Discipline will take you where motivation never can. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes depending on your mood, your energy, or even the weather. Discipline, however, is a system. It allows you to move forward even on the days when you don't feel like it. Imagine improving by just 1% every day. It may seem insignificant, but small improvements compound over time. Weeks become months, months become years. And those tiny daily actions eventually create extraordinary results. This is how habits shape your destiny. Every time you choose focused work over distraction, you are proving something to yourself. You are proving that you are capable of change. Remember, the goal isn't to become perfect. The goal is to become better than you were yesterday. There will still be difficult days. You will still face distractions. You will still fail sometimes. And that's okay. Progress isn't about never making mistakes. Progress is about getting back up every single time you fall. So before this video ends, ask yourself one simple question. What is the one task you've been avoiding for days, weeks, or even months? When this video finishes, don't scroll. Don't wait. Don't make another excuse. Take the first small step immediately. Because one small action today can completely change the direction of your future. Your mind is your greatest tool. Train it wisely. And remember, the life you've always wanted begins the moment you stop delaying it. If this video helped you see procrastination in a new way, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating psychology and neuroscience content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.